Good evening, this is New Eric Gardner. How's everybody doing today? Alright, so it's a little late in the evening, but we're going to look through a couple of bins. I got two bins that are going to be harvested pretty soon. One is done on the 14th, one is supposed to be done on the 8th, and one is supposed to be done on the 22nd. Just a quick look. This is the one from the 22nd. Oh, we got a big worm sitting right on top. He's a jumper. So that may be a blue worm. It actually has a ring around, but it was moving a little quick. This bin, I checked the other day. If you look at one of my past videos, I went through this bin just to check it out. It was a little too moist. When I checked the moisture and just kind of went through the bin, but there was some food in here, so I left it, let them eat it. There's a little bit left there and the apple. I'll let them enjoy that. This bin is supposed to be done on the 22nd. I'm going to try to do my bins in 3 cycles. So 3 bins for each cycle. But other than that, this bin was in very good shape. Just a little moisture content was a little higher than I like it to be. So that's that bin. The other bin that I have, we'll go backwards. This bin here, it's supposed to be done on the 14th. That's Valentine's Day. But we're going to take a look at this bin. Straggler there. Looks good. Does have quite a bit of fruit flies, and that's probably because I have been feeding these bins quite a bit of watermelon, squash. So there is quite a bit in here. I'm pretty sure you can see them moving around. So what I'm going to do is, when I'm not feeding these bins any solid food, any blended food, because I'm coming down to the time where I'm going to harvest it. So I don't want to add any food. But what I'm going to do is, I do have a glue trap in here to kind of catch the flies. So I want to get them out, but we'll just take a look. Bin looks good, moisture is good, plenty of worms there as you can see. So yeah, there's plenty of worms. Nice big worms there. Nice big worm. Couple more nice big worms. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to go through the bin, kind of see what the moisture level is. Moisture level's not bad. I can see it's a little clumpy, so it is a little moist. It's a little moist than I like to have my bins, especially when I harvest them. I don't want the clumps. But a lot of nice worms. Nice healthy bin, and that's what you want to do. This bin has been mixed up a little bit from time to time, just to kind of get airflow into it. Yeah, nice worms. Beautiful worms. A lot of worms, but a little moist. If I was to harvest this bin today, I don't think once I kind of loosen it up, I don't think I would have a problem with being able to harvest this bin. It would harvest without a problem. So I'm not concerned about that. But it is a little moist. So what I'm gonna do is, as you saw, I actually had a top on it, covering it with the filter fabric. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the filter fabric off. I am going to be feeding this bin tonight. I'm not going to be, like I said, feeding it any type of organic matter. It's just going to be dry food. So that's all this bin is going to get. It is a little moist, like I said, but it's not wet. So if I had to harvest this today, it wouldn't be a problem. I would be able to harvest it. It would go through the two different screens that I use. I use a 1/4-inch screen and an 1/8-inch screen. 1/8-inch screen being the last screen that I use, just to get the fine castings. But we're looking good. We're looking good. These bins here lately has been fed a lot of pumpkin. So these bins, and that will make it a little moist. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna feed this bin. Tonight I'm just gonna feed it a little bit of alpaca manure. Nice fat worms. And that's what you can see, the moisture also makes your worms fat because they breathe through their skin. So good moisture content helps the worms survive. But what I'm not gonna do tonight is I'm not gonna put the filter fabric back on top. I'm gonna let it air out so it can actually dry out a little bit. And in that way, when I do go to harvest it, it'll be a little drier than what it is right now. There's not much in here. I'm gonna feed them what I have. I know I'll come back tomorrow. That'll be gone. It's not much. These hungry worms will eat that up. And then what I'll do is I'll feed them some more. But what I'm gonna do is not put on the filter fabric. I'm gonna let this breathe and get it out. Also, I don't know if you can see that, with the glue trap that I actually have in there, that'll take care of the fruit flies that are in there. So that's another big, healthy bin. So, all right, let's go on to the next bin. The next bin is 2/8. It's supposed to be harvested on 2/8. I'm not gonna harvest this bin yet. It's not gonna be harvested today or tomorrow. This particular bin is in good shape. You don't see a lot of fruit flies in there. So that's great. Due to this bin being on the 8th, I stopped feeding it any type of organic matter, so it's in perfect shape. So we don't have a problem with the fruit flies in this particular bin. So it looks good. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, that's nice. This is the consistency I like to see, even a little further down. Yeah, that's good moisture. A lot of good worms there. Worms are looking good. Nice, fat, happy worms. Yeah, we look good there. Yeah, that's good. This particular bin, like I said, it's supposed to be harvested on the 8th, but I'm not going to harvest this bin on the 8th. What I'm going to do is get in between the 22nd. So either I will do this bin either like on the 11th, the 12th, and do this bin. Yeah, that's nice worms. Yeah, they look good. They look good. Either I'll harvest this bin, like I said, around the 11th or the 12th, depending on my time, and we'll see what we get. We've been averaging about, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of nice worms in there. Nice sized worms. Not much biochar in here. And that's another thing that actually helps out the bin. When I have the biochar, I notice those bins are a little bit drier. Because the biochar acts as a sponge and sucks up the moisture. So that's a good bin. The moisture content on this bin is perfect. Good moisture. But once again, like I said, these bins have been fed a lot. Constant pumpkin and butternut squash and things like that. So the bins are a little moist, but not over moist. If I stuck my meter in here, the moisture would be good. So we're good on this bin. I just wanted to show these two bins, where we're at. There are next bins that we are going to harvest, and they look good. I've been averaging out of each bin probably about anywhere between 13 to 15, 16 pounds of worm compost out of these bins. This particular bin, I'm actually going to feed the worm chow or the worm food. Give it a nice helping of worm chow. Give them something to gnaw on. This one is fine, so I am going to put the filter fabric back over it and allow the worms to eat that. I'll feed it every other day. I try to make sure that they pretty much eat up what's on there before I feed it. I just don't feed it because I want to keep it on a schedule. I want to make sure they eat what's in there. So this worm, like I said, does not have a problem with the fruit flies, because I pulled back on feeding them any type of organic matter. So they're in great shape. So we're good there. So that's bin number 2. Like I said, bin number 3, which is a bin that should be harvested on the 22nd. That particular bin was a little too moist. So I'm feeding that one also dry food, and also keeping the filter fabric off so that it can breathe and start to dry out a little bit. which is the best thing to do. So I mean, there's things that you can do. If this bin was moist and I still had a month to go, I could add a cup or two of biochar to it, which the biochar is going to suck up the moisture. So that's going to help dry it out also. And I would do the same thing. I would pull back on feeding it any organic matter and feed it powder food, and maybe even take off the filter fabric so it can dry out a little bit. But these castings look good. I'm good there. I don't have a problem with this bin. It's in good shape. Like I said, it's gonna go for another week. That's gonna help it dry out a little bit. So there are some, like I said, also this one actually has a fly trap in it. So it's also picking up any of the fruit flies. So that's what you want to kind of do. Go through your bins and kind of see where you're at with your bins. Just a quick thing.